Hello everybody, Jet here and welcome back to my Beastmen campaign. Now we are just rejigging and building up just a little bit and then we're going to get back onto the advance soon. I think I'm nearly sorted actually. I've just got a little bit of recruitment to do in some of these armies. I can't quite recruit in these two just yet, so next turn we'll do that. And then we're going to go on the aggressive, we're going to go on being aggressive again. Need to work out which way I'm pushing because I need to be going places where I can raid for a good income here. We have just taken a big hit, as you probably saw if you were watching the last one. So very big battle in the last one, which is why I'm having to do a bit more rejigging again, unfortunately. Now I might even just charge straight across into the dwarfs over here because they've held these territories for a while, so I can potentially raid them for quite a reasonable income. And in that big open territory as well, I have a little bit more security if I need to manoeuvre my hordes around a bit. We'll see how that goes. Like I said, right now we're just getting our hordes back into order, getting our hordes back into order so we can start pushing again. Right, so we're just going through everything. Clan Moors here. Now my one issue here is my herds are quite expensive at the moment, so I do need to start working on that as much as I can. However, it's not necessarily going to be the easiest thing to do. So what I'll probably do is I'm going to push up this way through the Vamps and up into the Dwarven territory for the time being. Oh, we do still have another Dwarf clan there, which I've not seen for a bit. Or is that a rebellion going on against the vampires there? We'll have to see in a minute. Okay, Estelia I do want to pay attention to because they are reasonably strong. And that's my other option, as I could push down and into Estelia and then up through Bretonia. Just keep moving and keep burning through people. However, I do need to break the dwarfs at some point and potentially the vampires because they are very strong and they're at war with me. And they seem to be allied with the dwarfs, which is weird. However, everybody else is having to deal with chaos invasions at the moment, like this guy here. So there's various chaos hordes around the place which are helping me. Okay, full replenishment. That gets us right back on our feet. You guys can just spam out some units. Right, you're good, you'll be back up. I'm not going to bother with that other Minotaur unit actually. You can push up to 3. You can push up to that one because that's going to help our costs. Why can't you interact with them? How about this one? No, wrong one. One, two, three, four. That'll do. The next turn, these 3 hordes are going to start moving. This guy's going to sit back and just keep getting himself hidden off to the side and keep recruiting if he can. Though I don't mind having one horde which has got slightly less people in it. I'm aware of how much these guys are costing me at the moment, so I do need to start moving. I unfortunately think this is where it's going to start getting very tough because I'm going to have to start being aggressive and attacking places, and actually that's going to be quite difficult now because everybody's got very, very big. So maybe I did mess up. Maybe I should have gone for the Empire and the Dwarfs far earlier on in this campaign. because right now I'm potentially in trouble here, but we'll see how this goes. Okay, so Queek is doing reasonably there. He just smashed a Chaos Horde down there. And obviously we've got Queek doing the things. However, he is being battered back a bit. Got Karak, Ansel. So these guys have reappeared, and they were a dwarf faction. As far as I was aware, they'd confederated, but they appear to have not confederated, or popped up somewhere else again, possibly as a rebellion, which is not necessarily a bad thing for me. However, it's something I would just want to keep an eye on exactly what's going on. Okay, so the Heat Silver Host going on. Just go for all of these guys. Through the various Chaos armies again, and these guys here. Oh, Wrath of Nature's somewhere, but those little guys there I was pointing out before heard. Oh no, my Warherd has been revealed. What a shame. As I go, I'm no longer hiding.
Malagor.
Now, I think these places both have Centaur units now, actually. Both of my big hordes, I think, have the buildings they need to keep everything as cheap as possible. So he could use a beast one for the a Razorgore herd, however. And these guys do have various things for them. Alright, so let's grab the direct damage spell and let's end turn. We're going to move on here next turn. And then we're going to just... Basically, I need to keep pushing. I need to start getting that income rolling in again. So we're being poked by the dwarfs again. However, they're trying to hinder my replenishment, which is at 100% at the moment. So that's not really something I need to be particularly worried about at this point in time. I'm not pushing down towards those little dwarf places down here, because while they're weaker, they're not going to give me the income I need. And at the moment, I need that income. Maintaining 4 hordes like this is actually quite expensive. So I need to just pay attention to what I'm doing. Maybe I need to have a look at my layout a little bit, because maybe I've got a few too many of the expensive... Actually got a few too many of my very expensive units in there. Though they are good, because you've seen what they're like getting around the backs. But at the same time, they're more expensive, so that I can't maintain as many troops as easily. Which is a balance I might have to start playing. Right, so Queek is still fighting. I don't think he's going to be gone for a while. So the other dwarfs are pushing up there. I don't know if they're at war with Estelia. And we'll see how they do. They seem to have suddenly popped up all over the place, actually, which is a bit odd. The border princes are pushing somewhere. Okay, and basically we're seeing everything which is happening around Queek's territory down there, which is why I probably did a bad thing by allying with Queek, but it gives me somewhere safe to retreat to if I need to, although he's not got much left. Allying with me seems to be a curse for people, because when they do it, they seem to fall apart very quickly. Let's go hit here. That's a very easy auto. We're still taking the gold, even though it's only 10k. You guys can go hit Karak. In fact, I want to check something a sec. Yes, that is the one I want to be attacking with. I'm going to take the money again for the time being. I do still want to get the income of these guys up, but but obviously getting the money, sorry, the growth up of these guys, but getting money is of course very, very beneficial straight out. And we're going to be pushing straight into all of the reductions here. Okay, let's enter. So we've got 2 dwarf armies up there. We're going to keep pushing up the coast here to Barakvar and Eikendorf. Keep pushing basically now is my aim. I want to keep those guys pushing, raiding when they can and burning when they can, and knocking over settlements. In fact, I want them knocking over settlements more because that's getting me a lot more money. But while I'm moving in those periods of movement, they can do a lot of raiding, and when needs to, I can bring them all together now. And once we've got the growth up a little bit as well, we will start really rejigging things and getting them to be really good solid hordes. Ideally to the point where I can safely split them into 2 sort of subgroups which can operate semi-autonomously away from each other without having to worry about getting too close to staying too close to each other. But that might take a little bit. Okay, let's see what Mr. Queek is doing. He's trying to get some of his settlements back. There's a lot of different types of corruption around some of these places, because there's both Skaven and vampiric corruption in these places. The Skaven are a really weird faction because they are corruption spreaders, but unlike everybody else, their corruption is actually bad for them, which is such a weird concept. So they actually hurt themselves with their own corruption. Okay, so border princes who are going, I don't know what they're doing, if they're going to war with Skaven. No, they don't seem to be at war with Skaven, but I can see, but we'll see. Okay, they've ended their non-aggression pact with me. Eh. Through all the chaos guys, I can't see where any of these are, but obviously they've got a lot of people because you can see how long their turns are taking. So they are potentially causing a lot of damage elsewhere in the world. And we've got some Brayherds out, which is good for us. Right, where is the territory border? No, we're not pushing over because I will suffer if I do that. However, you guys can. Oh no, you were meant to be raiding. Oh well, we're getting a nice chunk from there, even though I forgot to put them raiding. Basically, raiding at the moment is just helping to reduce my costs. It's not really doing much else. Now, these Brayherds following us are going to be very useful, because that means if I siege somewhere for a turn, I'm getting an entire extra army helping me here. Which, as you can see, they're putting big armies into some of these places already. It's going to be very useful in helping me push, and that's actually perfect. Ooh, he says. And so they're not the best Brayherd. And that is who they're attacking. This is a fairly hefty army. I'm gonna have to fight this one, unfortunately. I'd have preferred not to. If I decline attack, they will just kill my Brayherd, because my Brayherd won't retreat. So we will go into this. We'll try and let the Brayherd take the majority of the damage. We will actually be the reinforcing. Oh, maybe not. I thought we were going to be the reinforcing force here, but we might not actually be the reinforcing force. We shall see. And we also might be coming in from behind them because if they've gone for my Brayherd, which is sitting behind me like that. We will probably be coming in reinforcing from the sides or behind them if we are, which is potentially good because it means I can smash this siege equipment very quickly. Obviously we've got a lot of rangers. I'm not really that fussed. Rangers are good, but the dwarfs have better ranged units than the rangers, so I'm not massively worried about the rangers. Anyway, let's wait and see exactly what happens here at the Battle of Matorka when I eventually finish my loading screen. So we're just waiting. Obviously they've got a nice defensive position if they were to want to defend here. However, obviously they're not defending and I can't really afford to defend. So yes, so I am reinforcing here straight into the side of the dwarfs. So this is going to be a big battle. Especially as I have two armies reinforcing straight into them. I need this Brayherd to be ultra aggressive actually. I can't see them, but they also can't see me at the moment, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. Right, that is everybody in. This is a couple of very big lines. My Cygors can sit behind. My archers can just form a nice big line as well. Oops, I've got some archers sitting spare. Right. So we're going to do a little... I'm going to split these into separate subunits. Right, so these guys are our centre. These guys can go up on the other side. Oh, no, these guys are our centre. These guys are our left flank. And these guys are our bottom flank. They're probably going to take a lot of damage. These guys can sit behind in the middle. My archers I've already set into a line. This half of my monstrous units can go up top. This half of my monstrous units can actually stay in the middle because I don't want them getting too low. And let's go. And my Cygors can just start throwing things straight away. So yeah, all of my monstrous units are going to come round the top. And my Cygors can throw at them. They are going to force me to push, unfortunately, which is what I really don't want to be doing too early. Here come the rocks! Right, it's time for to start counter-charging. All of my monstrous units can just get themselves right into the centre. Why are you guys keeping doing this? This is really annoying. Mr. Gorbel, you can charge, you guys can charge, and you can... First thing, we're going to pop an augment. Let's hex all of these guys. Oh, I am suffering here from a lack of FPS. Let's keep hammering into their sides with all of my monstrous units as well. I want to really push them through. We're already breaking them, which is nice. Let's burn off some of these guys' armour. Right, some of you guys can actually try and push right through to here. You guys can just keep hammering in. You're doing nicely there. You guys can just push forwards a little bit more. Let's pop a leech on their lord. So that'll be a very powerful spell against him. Okay, actually you guys can support up here. Let's take you guys off skirmish. You guys can start supporting up here a bit. You guys can just charge in now. You guys can charge back at them. Let's watch this into these guys. Oh! Oh, this unit just doesn't want to break down here. But again, I say that, neither does their lord. Let's get my Cygors in here. This isn't going to last much longer. They are starting their mass rout. They've gone. We've broken them. So we've taken a lot of damage here, unfortunately, but we can potentially afford to take that at the moment, so that's not too bad. Why has this not ended yet? I'm confused. I can't see a single dwarf unit which is still not running. Okay, I can't see a single dwarf unit which isn't retreating at the moment. There you go. Close? That wasn't close. I mean, okay, I say that, we did take a fair bit of losses, but nothing too bad. You know, their losses we're expecting to take there, you know. They are a far tougher set of tougher armies than me. So, actually, I'm not fussed about that loss at all. You know, well, that victory at all being as close as it was, because I can deal with that. The dwarfs can't. because that was a far more expensive defeat for them. Let's take the replenishment. And as you can see, oh, we do have another door. Ooh. How are they pumping out so many armies so quickly? That's the thing I want to know. That is the thing which is making the dwarfs dangerous at the moment, is they just have so many armies to throw at me, one after another, which is making them quite dangerous, because they really are able to just seem to be able to pull armies out again and again and again, which I'm a little concerned about, because that is going to slowly wear me down if they can keep doing that. Because if they can push that many armies out, they can repopulate faster than I can destroy as well. Okay, so Queek is pushing back there. And Avaland are still about as well. I do need to pay attention to them. Let's hit Barak Var next turn. And I'll work out if I need to bring my hordes together to deal with those two little armies coming up behind us. Because they could be tricky to deal with, actually, depending on their makeup. And I'm going to try and potentially chase down that little army in the middle of me. So I'll work out what's best for me to do. And this is where things get tricky, because everybody seems to be mustering their forces against me now. Now I could hide, but I can't afford to keep hiding like that. Oh, this could well be Queek who's taken these places and not shared with me, or it could be a Chaos faction as well, who's just been burning through the Crusaders. But the Crusaders seem to have taken a massive chunk of damage there. Right, so let's hit Barak Var. Let's bring both hordes into play here. Nice easy auto. Now you can be brought back down into play. Another relatively easy auto. 43k, we needed that. And we've got another Brayherd here as well. So we might wait for the Brayherds to come up here and potentially bring our other horde into play as well. You can keep recruiting. You can get yourself some nice higher level Gauls. Grab yourself that Vortex spell. Oh, you can join an army. You are getting very nicely set up. This is the thing, if I was to fill this horde with just Gauls, it would cost me very little. It's having the more expensive units which makes it more expensive to maintain. However, I could potentially maintain this horde on its own, you know, is actually less than my upkeep. It's the fact that I'm maintaining multiple hordes, which is what's really costing me so much money. I might potentially swap a few units around, but I'm not sure how I quite want to do that yet. Anyway, guys, that is the end of this session. I hope you've enjoyed it. We're going to keep pushing into the Dwarfen territories to try and knock them down, though we're potentially going to have to turn around to deal with these little armies coming up. But if I bring all my 4 hordes together, that should be easy to do, especially as we're getting more and more Brayherds now. So we're just going to keep pushing into the heart of dwarfdom itself. In fact, we can even push up to Karazakarak and start burning through the mountains. Obviously, some of the very central dwarf places are actually still held by the vampires, but this is where they first start. So if I smash there, that will potentially get us a lot of money. And really help us keep going. As you can see, I'm back up to 90k already. So after just taking a few places, so a couple more places, I can then afford to start regenning up sort of sorting my forces again. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching.